At the moment, there are thousands of farm building projects under construction throughout the country and thousands more in the planning phase. This level of investment has been made possible through IFA negotiating with the government an attractive grant package. The construction of farm buildings gives rise to a number of issues which must be considered: health and safety, hazard management and insurance cover. The DVD outlines and establishes the precautionary measures that should be taken before and during construction. It identifies the hazards as they present themselves during construction, outlining the precautionary measures that should be taken at each stage of construction. If you're undertaking a building project on your farm, consult your local FBD insurance advisor, who will be able to advise you on the insurance that you need, assess the insurance provided by your contractor, and ensure that there is adequate insurance in place to protect you, your farm and your family in the event of an accident.
Construction work is very dangerous, and because of this, it is essential that farmers and contractors construct buildings in a safe manner. A serious accident can lead to severe injuries or even death, but it can also lead to criminal prosecution and financial ruin. This is why it is imperative that you construct farm buildings in a safe manner, comply with the law, and ensure that you have adequate insurance in place to protect yourself from financial hardship and to give yourself peace of mind. The main causes of fatalities in the construction industry are highlighted in the following chart. Falls from height, 43%. Struck by something collapsing or overturning, 16%. Transport, 12%. Contact with electricity, 10%. Hit by falling object, 6%. Drowning or asphyxiation, 6%. And others, 7%. Half of these fatalities occur on sites with less than 5 employees. Before work commences on your construction site, you must ensure that adequate insurance cover is in place, a full risk assessment must be carried out, all work must be adequately planned, and method statements must be completed. You have assigned a competent project supervisor design process and project supervisor construction stage. All necessary building equipment, protective equipment, appropriate precautions and safe systems must be implemented. All construction workers employed must be competent. Actions must be taken to ensure safety of the public, workers and children. Farm construction can be broken down into 2 broad sections. The first, underground, the second, overground. The underground work includes excavation, shuttering, concreting and placing slats. At all times of construction, the following safety measure must be observed. Firstly, you must check the site for unusual ground conditions such as sandy soil, nearby springs or watercourses. Check the site for overground and underground electrical cables. Take appropriate action to avoid the risk of contact with them. For example, in the case of overhead lines, erect goalposts and warning barriers to reduce risks during construction. Several fatalities and serious injuries have occurred where equipment such as tipping trucks, teleporters, concrete conveyors and pumps, cranes, delivery trucks and long conducting objects have made contact with overhead lines. If there are electrical lines on or near your site, contact ESB Networks for advice on 1850 372 757. Ensure that the site has safe access routes to and from the site for persons, machinery and delivery. All appropriate warning signs and protective fencing must be placed around the construction site to ensure no unauthorized people or children can access the site. Many people have been killed or seriously injured due to burial or crushing caused by collapsing of excavations. Always ensure that safe access to and from the excavation is provided. Where building close to an existing structure, be sure to underpin or support the structure. The excavations must be battered back at a 45-degree angle to prevent the excavations from collapsing. Trucks must be parked at least 3 meters away from the edge of excavations. The excavation must be inspected on a daily basis. If the excavation needs to be dewatered, it should be done on a 24-hour basis. Mechanical lifting plant must be used to maneuver steel shuttering, and all lifts must be coordinated and supervised. Ideally, prefabricated shuttering should be used, and it must be adequately propped and supported. Mushroom caps should be fitted on all exposed ends of steel reinforcement bars. Extra care must be taken when shuttering is being removed after striking. It is essential that all persons working with concrete wear appropriate PPE. The main risks associated with fresh concrete are chemical burns and abrasion. And the main risks associated with working hardened concrete are eye injuries from flying particles, lung damage from inhaling silica dust, and hearing damage from noisy power tools. The concrete must be poured using a safe method. Trucks must be parked at least 3 meters away from the edge of excavations. Use a safe platform for pouring and vibrating concrete walls, for example, a scissor lift or cantilever scaffolding system. When work on the tank is complete and concrete is sufficiently hardened, excavated areas must be backfilled before slats are laid. Ensure that persons placing slats are not in danger of falling into the tank, and that extra care is taken to prevent persons from being struck or crushed by a slat. Insist that slats are placed in position by the supplier's trained personnel. Use mechanical lifting equipment for placing slats, for example, cranes on delivery trucks, forklifts, etc. Serious crushing, manual handling and falls from heights injuries are associated with steel frame erection accidents. The following precautions will help prevent an accident occurring on your site. The best practice is to pour foundations for stanchions first, preferably by casting in holding down bolts. This allows stanchions to be erected safely with less risk of falling over. Steel sections should be lifted into place by mechanical means and then secured by the holding down bolts. Work should be planned to minimize working at height. For example, rafters and purlins should preferably be assembled at ground level and lifted mechanically into place and connected to the uprights. A mobile elevation work platform, MEWP, scaffolding system, podium ladder or platform ladder must be used for connecting the bolts between the rafters and the stanchions. Falls from heights are the main cause of fatalities and serious injury on construction sites. Every precaution must be taken to ensure all work at height is adequately planned and carried out in a safe manner. All work at height must be carried out from a safe working platform, such as a mobile elevated work platform or scaffolding when practically possible. The roof structure must be netted and fitted with suitable edge protection to prevent injury from falls when cladding the roof. Only competent, certified persons should carry out this work. For further information, refer to the Building Safety Advisory Booklet and ESB Network's Construction Safety Booklets.